Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to or back to my channel. Thank you for stopping, clicking and watching. My name is Angel and recently I've noticed quite a few videos around YouTube of people wrapping up their 2022, even making new intentions for 2023. And there's been some hashtags going around, anti-bucket lists, the deck reconnect, connecting with decks generally. So I'm going to do a whole mismatch of that. And this is going to be a video about the decks and my practice in 2023. So grab yourself a beverage. I have mine here. It's a vat or a bucket of coffee. This could be a bit rambly. Strap yourself in. Could be a bumpy ride. And let's jump in. Okay, so my main goal for 2023 is to really connect with the decks that I've already got in my collection, and to, I don't want to use the depth word. I don't want to say depth here. However, I am going to be much more mindful of what I bring into my collection. I don't want to use the word depth because that kind of feels like the word diet, which then suddenly makes me want to eat or buy all those things that I'm not allowed to eat or buy. So instead, I'm going to take a bit of a different angle and go at it from, really working and deep diving with the decks that I already have. So one of the decks that I really want to start working with again is the Dark Goddess Tarot. This is a deck that I've had for quite a long time, actually. It's quite dinged up because I've used it a lot. And then it kind of just, I don't know, it's just gone a bit quiet in my collection. And maybe a week or so ago, I suddenly got the real impulse to start using this for my dark moon readings. I currently use the Moonchild Tarot and even I want to call it the Power Moon Tarot. If I've got that wrong, I'll write it on the screen. But the Power Moon Tarot and me are not friends at the minute. So that one is taking a rest and I'll get back to it at another time. But I'm really feeling drawn to work with this one for the dark moon, or even the new moon actually, phase. So that's my plan. It's to evolve and shake up my dark moon, new moon practice. I do have a journal, a moon journal, and I even include in that journal and in that in my moon phase, what can I say, practice, pop-it work. And that will continue in 2023. So yes, so that is the Dark Goddess Tarot. I love the guidebook. I don't find it a very intuitive deck personally because I don't know so much about all the goddesses, but in the book there's some really, really excellent folklore or mythology, and then a really good card meaning also, I find, on the cards. So this is a total winner in my collection. Looky here, interesting. Yeah, so that's the first deck that I'm going to reconnect with, and yeah, we're moving along. We're moving along to this deck. This is the Celtic Wisdom Tarot. This was a second-hand find that I found on eBay. This is unfortunately an out-of-print deck at the minute. I hadn't been called to work with this one at all. I'm going to flip through the cards and tell you the story about this. I'm going to say this year, just gone, I've had quite a lot of Egyptian energy around. And I feel since about September, that energy has been receding, I feel. And about a week and a half ago, I felt some new energy coming in, which I feel is a Celtic energy, but I'm not 100% sure on that. However, in September, I felt called to start an inner wild woman practice, which I have started, and it's really, really helping me. And I feel that this new energy coming through, I feel that practice is connected to this energy coming through. I feel that when I look back, I've been looking back on my journals the last couple of days to kind of, see if there was any kind of signs and symbols earlier on in the year. And even in March of this year, I was already getting signs which I hadn't, connected together, and I hadn't joined the dots. So now I feel that the puzzle pieces are kind of, dropping into place, and I'm joining the dots. So I don't want to say so much because, it's still very new, but I feel my inner wild woman practice that I started in September, and even this energy coming through now, is the same path, I feel. So that's my plan this year, in 2023, the coming year, to deep dive with this. I feel this is going to really help me connect with that new energy that's coming through. This is another deck that I feel is going to help. This is the Earth Oracle. Wait, let me just make sure I've said that correctly, so I don't lead you astray. Sorry, the Earth Wisdom Oracle. This is also an eBay find. I never used it. I haven't felt called to use it. And then, these last couple of weeks, I've suddenly felt, yes, I need to work with that. I have to get that out and start working with it. So that's my plan. So I think I'm going to be working with this, with the Celtic Wisdom Tarot. And I feel that the Dark Goddess Tarot is also part of this. I feel it's all the same. I feel it's all due to the same energy, but don't quote me on that. I'll let you know. I'll let you know in the new year when I've kind of explored things a bit more. So yeah, speaking of my inner wild woman practice, this is the, oh holy moly, now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I know this. I say that know this, and you're chatting at the screen. The Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Of course it is. Of course it is. I've shown this recently on my channel in my top 10 mass market decks. I've edged mine in blue. This is also a deck that I want to connect with. I've had this a long time, but I felt intimidated, as I mentioned before. I felt intimidated to work with it. And now, I really feel the need to work with it. And I feel it's the same again. I feel it's this new energy coming through that's guiding me to these decks. So yeah, this is a definite deck I want to connect with in the new year. Can you hear that noise? That's my cheeky cat. Bear with. Apologies, I'm back. Let's thinky here. What were we talking about? Yeah, I think we were just talking about me reconnecting with this deck, or connecting generally with it, really getting to know it. So I'm really looking forward to that. I do have quite a lot that I really want to dive into this coming year, and I'm really looking forward to it, actually, to be honest. So yeah, that was the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. I hope I've said that correctly. It was a while ago I looked at the title. Okay, so that is those three based on that energy coming through. Also based on, well, not just based on that energy coming through, but I also want to focus a bit more on herbs and plants next year, or this new year coming. I have foraged and dried a lot of my own herbs, which I have in my, I'm going to say, very basic apothecary. And I bought this book, which I think is absolutely beautiful. This is by Juliet Diaz. Yeah, it's got some really great information in this one. So this is also a practice I want to continue with, obviously once the winter is over and everything's growing again. And I also want to connect with things like this. This is the Druid Craft Plant Oracle. I've never used this. I bought it mostly for the guidebook. But now looking at the cards, and I also have the Druid Craft Animal Oracle as well, which I'm going to show. That's going to come up in a few moments. I kind of feel that these would be great altar cards, actually. I really want to lock the borders off because I think the borders are a bit, you know, in your face, a bit too much. So yeah, I'm thinking these are, you know, going to really make good altar cards. But we'll see. So that's that one. And then, as mentioned, let's see if I can pop these here. This is the Druid Craft. The Druid Animal Oracle. Sorry, not the Druid Craft. The Druid Animal Oracle. This is the same again. I haven't used this one either. And that could also be because I bought it to go with the, I love this, I love the snake energy. I bought it to go with the Druid Craft Tarot, and that I haven't worked with. Yeah, that hasn't felt the right time to work with it yet. So it could be that reason that, you know, these two have also been overlooked because of that. But I really want to connect with these in the new year. And I feel I've also mentioned that also back in September of this year, I started getting a lot of animal energy through in messages and in synchronicities as well. And I really want to explore that as well now and the coming months. So this deck is really going to help. And also my other existing oracle and tarot decks with animals in that I have. Sorry, my attention's being taken from my kitty cat, who's being a real cheeky monkey. I don't know if you can hear him in the background. Yeah, oh, look, a blank card. Oh, several blank cards. Interesting. Sorry, bear with. Such a cheeky monkey, honestly. As you might have guessed, I also want to be reading more books in 2023. I've got some amazing books I've bought the last 2 years. And, you know, I buy these things and then I get, you know, taken down a different rabbit hole, and my attention is taken from, you know, one thing to the next without really looking into the previous thing. So I really want to focus my energy more next year and try to focus on one thing at a time instead of, you know, several things at a time. So that's really my plan as well for the coming year. Yeah, we're moving along to my self-love practice. My self-love practice is really, really important to me. Which has kind of dropped off. I used to do self-love Fridays. Every Friday I would do a self-love, a self-love ritual on a Friday. I would do some, possibly some spell work, definitely some pop-it work, and possibly some, you know, shadow work, and some self-love rituals as well. And this deck really helped with that. This is the ritual deck. This is by Cassie Kansha, maybe, I'm not really sure. This was I feel like this was an independent deck. I got it a long time ago, right at the beginning of my beginning of which practice. This is by Zend Out. Anywho, these are the backs, and I tend to keep this on my self-love altar, and it's got all different tools and chakras and crystals. Let's just go through a bit here so you can see. It's got different moon phases. Let's see here. We're still on the crystals. Shells, magical tools, sacred geometry, directions. You know, it's got a lot of things, and even plants and herbs. This is really good if you wanted to have a travel altar. I feel, you know, you could take the directions, for instance. You could even take some crystal cards, and so that you wouldn't have to, you know, carry with you a whole mini altar. You could just have these cards that represent those elements on your altar, which I think is a really good idea. Anywho, so this is a deck that I used a lot in spell work and in my self-love rituals, which I really want to bring back into practice again. That kind of you know, has fell off, and I'm not sure why. I can't say why. this year just gone was a bit bumpy at times. There were some old traumas that were brought up, and some things that happened. So you know, that being said, this is definitely my plan for 2023 to get this back into rotation and to start bringing this practice forward again. The guidebook is really good. It shows you, for instance, we've got rose quartz here. It's got 3 keywords, it's got a mantra, it's got a message, and then it's even got a ritual and there's correspondences. So it's a really meaty little guidebook. Oh, and it's also got runes, which I forgot to mention as well. So it's, you know, it's a real well-rounded little ritual deck as far as I'm concerned. Most impressed with it. So happy that it's in my collection. And I find it really versatile, to be honest. I do really enjoy it. So speaking of my self-love practice, this is another deck that has kind of gone a bit quiet. This is the Sacred Rebels at Oracle by Alana Fairchild. This is a mass market deck. So I want to bring this one back out to play again in my self-love rituals. And as I mentioned, that I've got quite a few books that I also want to read and explore to do with my self-love practice, and even my healing journey, to be honest. My healing journey is really important to me. It's definitely ongoing. Excuse me. And that is actually the reason that I started my beginner witch journey, was for the healing path. So that's definitely going to be continuing in 2023. I feel that this new energy coming through is helping me with the continuation of my healing journey. So it's going to be really exciting to see where that leads. Yeah, these are some of the books that I really want to read this year to do with my self-love and healing practice. This is The Rituals Remedy, Embodied Practices for Soul Care by Mara Branscombe. Same again, you know, I bought it not so long ago and it's just sat on my altar, my self-love altar, waiting to be read. And this is a brand new one. This is Waking the Tiger, Healing Trauma. This was a book that I saw on Candy's channel. Candy's Soil and Soul, I want to say. Apologies if I've said that the wrong way around. I'll put it right on the screen. So this is another book that I really want to dive into and jump into. So, you know, my healing journey is totally, I'm going to say it's totally my main focus of my practice, to be honest. Very important to me. Yeah. Okay, my ancestral practice. That is also something that I really want to continue focusing on this year coming up. I have 2 or 3 major decks that I use for my ancestral practice. I'm going to show you this book first. This is the Ancestral Grimoire by Nancy Hendrickson. I do already have another book, which is called Ancestral Tarot, I want to say, which I've worked through that book, and that was absolutely amazing. So I'm really looking forward to working through this book. I'm also a member of the Circle of Kindreds on Facebook, and a group within that group are deep diving this book in the new year. So I'm really looking forward to that. I didn't buy any new decks did I? I possibly bought 1 new deck for this practice. Anyhow, this is an already existing deck that I use, tried and tested and well loved deck that I have for my ancestral practice, which is the Tower of Mystical Moments. I love this card. I really enjoy this deck. My ancestors' voices they sing really, really loudly through this deck. Excuse me. Yeah, very important card to me. I find this deck a really intuitive deck as well. I don't tend to go to the guidebook for this one, if I'm honest. I just tend to read it intuitively and from my knowledge of Rider-Waite-Smith, of this Tower card. There's a lot of cards that have a lot of special meaning to me in this deck. So yeah, and especially this card, I mentioned before, my ancestors, send this card to me very often in this deck when I've asked for their help and I'm not taking the help that they're offering me. This is the card I get quite often, which I think is quite interesting. It's like, you've asked for our help and now you're not accepting it, so just accept the help you're getting. Is the message I get from that. This is the new deck that I've bought for this practice. This is the Victorian Wisdom Oracle. I've edged mine. I've also cut the borders off of this one. I feel this is going to be a really good addition to my ancestral practice. And it's as I mentioned before, right at the beginning, with this whole, I'm not calling it a depth year. I'm calling it a year that I want to dive much deeper with my decks and work much closer with them. However, there is still that niggling thought in the back of my mind that, the coming year, I can't buy any decks, And I haven't set that condition to myself at all. I haven't thought that, because I know that I'll go into panic buy mode and just buy everything. So instead, I'm trying to be sensible and still allow myself to buy things, but just buy them mindfully. That was a bit of a sideline, but anywho, this was a brand new deck that I bought for my ancestral practice. Another tried and tested that I want to stay connected to is this oracle. This is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, I want to say it's called. I've edged mine in like a gold colour. This is a mass market deck. I so enjoy it. I so enjoy it. I really enjoy the guidebook. I really enjoy the key phrases. Yeah, I can't complain about this deck. I think it's excellent. And I tend to use this deck as to round off the reading that I do with my tarot of mystical moments. I tend to use this I tend to do a one card draw just to round off the reading, is what I'm trying to say very badly. Anywho, that's a very interesting card as well, actually. Anywho, yeah. So yes, definite favourite, definite deck that I'm going to be working closely with in 2023. How far along are we and what do I have left to show you? This deck I would like to show you. Astrology. I would like to get more into astrology this year, 2023. This is the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. It's the same again. These are the back, sorry. The same again, it's a deck or something that I wanted to get into. I bought the deck I bought a book on it, and then I got, I fell down into another rabbit hole, and this was kind of left by the wayside. So this is definitely a deck that I want to connect with in 2023. I do have a couple of other astrology decks, which the names are escaping me just this moment. I can put them on the screen for you. And it's the same again, they fell by the wayside when I fell down a different rabbit hole. So they are the decks that I really want to pick up again in the coming year. Beautiful artwork. I love this watercolour going on. I think it's absolutely amazing. Yeah. So, I can't say that I don't have any new decks to work with. I totally do. I totally have new decks to work with. So there really isn't any reason for me to be bringing in anything else into my collection. And possibly like, many other people, or this could just be me, it's the excitement of clicking it home, getting it home, and looking through it. That's the excitement, and I need to find that excitement instead in really, deep diving with these decks instead, and just being more mindful of the things I'm bringing in. Yes. So I mentioned about the books I wanted to read. Did I mention the fact that I really want to try and what's the word? I don't want to set an unreachable goal for myself of how many books that I need to read this year. But instead, I'm gonna try and read one book a month, which will obviously be 12 books at the end of the year, which will be great. And if I read 2 a month, that's fantastic. But as I mentioned, I don't want to set a goal that I can't obtain, for then to feel disappointed at myself at the end of 2023. So instead, I'm gonna excuse me. I'm going to set a realistic goal for myself. So this is another of the books I really want to read. I've also got, actually there's so many books that I want to read that I've got sitting on my altar waiting patiently to be read. This is another one, The Seasonal Soul, A Mystic's Guide to Inner Transformation. Women Who Run with the Wolves, that's something I've dipped in and out of. I want to sit down and properly read that. I've got a lot of tarot books I want to read. So, I am totally stocked up, ready to go, and looking forward to, 2023. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to show you today. What say you? What are your plans for 2023? Do you have any specific, thoughts and ideas? I really also want to bring back my morning practice, which I had, which has also kind of fallen by the wayside. I start work at 7 o'clock in the morning, and at the beginning of the year, for like the first 3 or 4 months of the year, I was getting up at 5 in the morning, starting my day by sitting at my altar, lighting my candles, lighting my incense, doing my card draws, and doing a little bit of journaling. And it was a fantastic way to start the morning, to start my day, a really grounded, calm way to start my day. And I really want to get back to that practice as well, because that was really beneficial for me, I felt. Gordon Bennett, what I've babbled on and spoken about, holy moly. So yeah, sorry, I'm passing the baton over to you. What about you? What are your plans for 2023? If you have any, if you're willing to share them, I'll be really happy to hear them. It's always really interesting to get some other ideas from different people, different thoughts, and different thoughts. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to share. Otherwise, I'm gonna thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world. I'm also gonna wish you all that you wish yourself and more in 2023. Take care, and all that's left to say is toodaloo.